Hi everyone, my name is Mina Yaqub. I am Afghan. I am 100% Afghan actually. Both my parents come from Afghanistan, Kabul to be specific. But I live in Germany, in Munich, Germany. I have been German my whole, I grew up there. I still live here. And my mom, she actually grew up in Canada, so I have a double citizenship. I am Canadian and German, but I've considered myself being a German kind of my whole life because I've sadly never been to Afghanistan. The war zone, it's not my parents' cup of tea, but I live here in Germany. I'm very happy here. I'm 15 years old. I'm a student. I go to school. I'm in 10th grade right now. I'm doing my IGCSEs this year. I'm very nervous about them, but it's gonna be fine. So 2020 has been an insane year. We've been living under a global pandemic, which I don't think anyone has expected. I remember the first time my classmate actually told me about a virus breaking out in China. I was like, in December, I think he told me that. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. We won't be hit. Germany is very far away. It's going to be fine. But here we are under a lockdown. And I feel like Corona has definitely taught me personally a very big lesson. It has been hard not being able to see, for example, all my friends or not being able to go to certain places. We have to wear a mask 24/7, but it has taught me a very important lesson, especially to focus on myself. And I remember the first lockdown we had, it was very scary for all of us, especially me, because I just couldn't imagine if anything would happen to my family or my parents. I couldn't imagine ever having to live a life without them. Or because my mom has severe asthma, I was always very, very careful. And I've seen all the casualties that have happened. So thousands of people have been dying. We've seen all news. People were scared, which is understandable because it's not something to mess around with. And I feel like this is a year where we really had to be careful and we really had to take note of such a thing that can actually happen. But on the other hand, when we first started a lockdown, I remember I think a lot of people my age were quite happy that we didn't have school. We were at home. We kind of saw this as an opportunity to not have to go to school and to kind of have free time / holidays. And we actually did a really good job with the online school. We called it e-learning. And it's basic, we still do it here. And when we went back to, when we were allowed to go back to school, we did about 2 days of e-learning at home and then 3 days of school, physical school. So I was very scared at the beginning because I take 1.5 hours to go to school. So 1.5 hours to go to school and then back. So I take 3 hours a day just to go by train, by foot, and by subway. So the contact, try to not have contact between people was very hard because even if they knew what was going on, they would still try to take the U-Bahn and they would still stand very close to one another. We would all stand very close to one another. And I feel like we all kind of are trying to make the best out of the situation. But as I said, this year has been crazy. Since I had all this time at home to really think about life actually and to think about myself, I have kind of started to come out of my comfort zone. Because I've always struggled with anxiety for my whole life. I have had anxiety for the past year become very, very bad to a whole different level, to a level where I was very insecure about myself. I wasn't happy about myself. I constantly was nervous. I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't breathe at times. So for me to go up to my mom and tell her that I wanted to be able to not have to worry about anything anymore. And that's the triggering part about anxiety. And I think that it actually came because I had so much time at home and alone. But yeah, we've all sat down, we found ways to prevent it, and I have spent all this time at home painting. I have found ways to fight this anxiety of mine. And I think that this all came because I was home for such a long time by myself. Well, I mean, I was with my family, but I've had so much time to think about life in general, and I'm writing my own music now. I'm singing, and I've been so happy to finally basically find myself and to do the things that I actually love to do. And I think that's a very big step for especially a teenager, because you are at a point where everything matters in life. For example, social media, I feel like, has such a big impact on all of us. And of course, being at home, we kind of use social media a lot more than we would probably. So as a teenager, I would always compare myself, and I would think that the world needs to see me for who I think they want to see, not for who I want to be myself. So that was one very big thing. But yeah, so going back to the corona situation itself, with having to not see my friends and to not be able to go to certain places, it's been all right. It's been better than I thought it would be, but it's, of course, it's annoying to have to wear masks 24/7. People don't want to do that. People go against their wills with taking the mask, and I don't think people realize that a lot of people are in danger with, I mean, because us as teenagers, for me especially, I don't think that we realize what situation we're actually in, because we're not the people that are going to get affected by this virus. Other people will definitely be hurting, not us. And yeah, so I personally just try to keep as much distance as possible. I wear masks everywhere now because again, in the back of my head, I always think about the worst thing that can happen, and I would never in my life ever want anything to happen to anyone, actually, whether it is my family, whether it is me, myself. But I know that the people around us will suffer the most. So yeah, we've all kind of gotten used to the pandemic, to how the things are going now, to online school. We're still doing online school right now, actually, because it's just way too risky to go 1.5 hours by train with constant contact between other people. And yeah, so again, it has affected the whole world in a very different way. For me personally, I've had time to think about myself. I had time to find myself finally, to do the things that I love, whether it was arts or singing. And I'm looking forward to waiting to see what's going to happen next year, actually, because I don't know if we're going to have vaccine, and I don't know if we're going to have to live like this or the rest of our life while wearing masks or while having to social distance. I just want people to know that it is all right. It is all right to be scared, because this is a place where so many people have been affected. We've seen all the news. We've seen what this virus can do to other people, and I don't think that people realize that the whole world is going through this. Actually, if you really think about it, the whole world is going through this situation. And just take a breath. If you are scared, it's okay. Some people might not say that they are scared, but deep down we actually are. And we will be all right. It's gonna be fine, because the whole world will work together no matter what, to be able to stop this spread of this deadly virus, or to be able to live the life that we used to. And economically, the whole world has also been very down. Especially, I was also, to be honest, afraid to see where this is going to lead to, because I've seen some of the stores, like little boutiques, little beginner stores, closed because they just didn't have enough money. I mean, my parents have been working on projects. They've been going to their work for the whole time, and they couldn't do that. They couldn't do certain things because of Corona. And economically, I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very grateful for not having to worry about not having a roof over my head or not having any food on the table. And I'm very grateful to know that even though the economy has been dropping down, there will always be a way for my parents to find like, to be able to say, yeah, we're gonna be all right, don't worry about it. But I'm just hoping for this, I hope, to be completely honest, I hope for the vaccine to come out as soon as possible. Even though it's nice to be at home and to not have to go to school, I just want the world to not be scared anymore and to realize that it's gonna be all right and we are gonna find a way through this. I mean, we've all kind of been doing things over e-learning, obviously, over online, over Zoom, and maybe it's gonna continue for the next 5 years, I don't know, but we're gonna make the best out of it, and we are making the best out of it.